dark of the night, whispers of deceit,
Shadows dance on the walls,
secrets they repeat, a shadowed figure
with eyes full of lies.
hiding truths in the shadows where no one dares to pry. Uncover the truth, let the lies come undone. Peel back the layers until the light is shown. Uncover the truth, let the shadows run. Break free from the chains and find the sun. Uncover the truth in the dead of the night, where secrets lie hidden like a whispered bite. Uncover the truth in the dim of the light, where betrayals take root in the heart of the fight. In the rain-soaked streets, under the moon's pale light, a crime unfolds with a twisted, sinister might. A knife in the dark, a scream that rings clear, betrayal's cold hand in the heart of the deer. Through the fog and the mist, the truth we must see. In the shadows we find the answers we need. Uncover the truth, let the lies come undone.
I don't know why I just let this keep playing.
It's
Okay.
it's such a magnetic song.
It really is a great song. I'm kind of like, listen, I'm like entranced by it.
I can't believe that it's not a real band. That blows me away. It's the Schuman band.
Schumann, the Free Rebel.
Yes, Free Rebel. Yeah, they got a lot of good hits out these days. They're gonna be overtaking Taylor Swift any day soon now.
Yeah. Well,
one
step
what
at a
are you
time.
gonna do? Another great Bloodlines and Betrayal after the son of Sam, David Berkowitz. We love him. We have a controversial case that has been in the news, and the only reason I know about it is, of course, because of my, I don't know, you could say obsession, love of Turtle Boy. So that is why it is here. And it has to do with Aaron Spencer. So it's gained traction recently, the more publicity that it's gotten. And, you know, the question that people are asking is, what would you do in this situation? Right. Okay. So basically what happened, this was in October, the incident happened in October of 2024. But before that, this man, Michael Foster, he had been indicted on 43 counts, ranging from stalking, sexual assault, following people on the internet, chatting with people, the old Chris Hansen on To Catch a Predator. This guy would have been on there about 10 times. So he gets these 43 counts, and his bail is set at $50,000.
Wow.
So if you know how bail works, it's 10% of, a bail bondsman takes the 10% and they pay the rest.
Right.
If you show up, you get your money back.
Right.
So realistically, yeah. And because of this case, bondsmen are not taking sexual assault cases now.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, because of that.
They've stopped taking them. But so he made bail for $5,000. And he previously had contact with this girl, Michael Spencer, his daughter. He had contact with her, and there was a stay away order. And I did not know that either. So there was already a stay away order. There had already been an incident between Michael Foster and Aaron Spencer's 13-year-old daughter when he was arrested. Now, what's messed up is the Spencers were not aware that Foster was released on bail. And normally when that happens, if there's a rape, an assault, anything like that, they will notify the victim or the alleged victim that this person has made bail. This person's free on bail. And there's usually a protection order, a harassment protection order, a stay away order in place to I mean, it doesn't mean anything and people violate them all the time, but they get them. And there was an order in this place. So there was a lot of flack to the circuit judge, Barbara Elmore, who put a gag order on everything according to this case. But last month, they appealed it to the Arkansas Supreme Court. They struck down the gag order and criticized Judge Elmore's actions. So basically what happened, this all occurred in October 8th of 2024, okay? Spencer heard the dogs barking, and he went to his daughter's room to check on her, and he saw she was missing.
Right.
Instinctively, he knew she's got to be with this Foster guy because he's been pursuing her. He chats with her on the internet. And you know how when Troy's going to be 13 years old, you can't control everything he does on the web. You can't control who he talks to. I mean, you can put guidelines on it, but you never really know what they're looking at. And that's kind of, you know, what happened here. He didn't know what was going on and that Foster was breaking the no contact law or no contact order that was put in place. And he had been arrested in July with the 43 counts, like I told you about, sexual assault of a minor, internet stalking of a child. Crazy. And this was all in relation to Spencer's daughter. So he's going after the victim he's already tormented. So Spencer said
that happens a lot.
I just, it blows my mind that my father was the same way. I mean, he is just disgusted with New York State and Kathy Hochul and the bail reform, but this just blew his mind. So the affidavit said Spencer went to look for his daughter and he got in his car and started driving before the Lonoke County Sheriff's Office could contact the Cabot Police. Cabot Police was their jurisdiction to check the address. So he was already on the road looking for his daughter. He's like, my daughter's gone. I know this man's fucking nuts. I'm going to get her.
Right.
So he gets in a car and he drives after them. He apparently found them and ran them off the road. Spencer saw Foster's white Ford F-150 turn onto a highway.
Okay.
This dude like pulled a U-turn like you'd see in the movies, and he flashed his lights and he was beeping his horn, and he was trying to get Foster to pull over. He would not. There was an intersection, and Spencer rammed his truck into the rear of Foster's F-150, sending it into a ditch. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Like this dude, I mean, and several attorneys were asked, because like I said, I watched Turtle Boy. If this were your child, what would you do? And every one of them said, I would do the same thing. If my child, if I believe my child's life's on the line,
of course you'd be chasing him down. Yeah.
if I believe
But
my
was
child's
the
life
child in the
on
car when he rammed it?
yes, she was in the car. But
Not-
it was the only way he was not in a pickup truck. It was the only way he could feel that he felt that he could get the vehicle to stop going, because he was on the run and he had his daughter. He kidnapped his daughter.
Got it.
So Spencer then exited the vehicle and he had a gun. And he ordered Fossler to get out of the vehicle and to lay in the ditch. Spencer stated that he observed his daughter trying to exit on the passenger side, but it appeared Fossler grabbed her and stopped her from getting out. Spencer then stated that Fossler exited his vehicle and had something in his hand. Spencer didn't know what it was. Spencer stated that Fossler then lunged towards him saying, "Fuck you." And Spencer said that he opened fire on Fossler, emptying his clip before jumping on top of Fossler and pistol whipping him.
After he shot him?
Yes. He shot him, emptying his clip, then got on top of him and pistol whipped him. Spencer then stated that he got his daughter out of the vehicle and returned to his truck, where he reloaded his weapon and called 911. So, according to police reports,
sounds like a hero to me.
Well, that's the thing. According to police reports, Spencer shot Fossler in the chest, arms, abdomen, and he had a Glock 19 Gen 4 pistol. I don't know guns. The report does not say how many times each body part was hit, although the Glock 19 holds 15 rounds and he emptied the clip. Regarding the pistol whipping of Fossler, the report notes that there was blood on the outside of the weapon, and it was clearly, after kill because of his anger and frustration. So on November 27th, prosecutors charged Spencer with second-degree murder, commission of a felony with a firearm. The same day, Spencer's attorney, Aaron Castellini, and Michael Kaiser issued a statement calling Spencer. Now, this guy has been in war. He served in Desert Storm. He's been in Afghanistan. They called Spencer a decorated war hero who protected his country, a loving father whose heroic action protected his family, and that Foster repeatedly violated his child and kidnapped her in the dark of the night to continue his assault on her. And a lot of this was under a gag order because of that idiot judge. The statement criticized prosecutors for bringing any charges against Spencer at all, accused prosecutors of perpetrating these horrors instead of protecting legitimate victims and punishing true criminal offenders, and thanked those who voiced their outrage over the treatment of Aaron and his child. The following week, prosecutors asked Judge Elmore for an order preventing Spencer's attorneys, and they wanted a gag order. And they said, fuck you. It's freedom of speech. There's no gag order.
Right.
But she granted the prosecutor's motion and entered the gag order, and she sealed the case. So that's why it didn't get any attention, and nobody really knew much about it. Spencer appealed the order in March, and the Arkansas Supreme Court stayed the case pending their decision. And then it wasn't until May 29th that the High Court struck down the gag order and sent the case back to Lonoke County for further proceedings. So that was the big issue, was people didn't know about it because, my man Turtle Boy would have been all over this, even with the Karen Reed stuff, had he known. So basically, it's a tragic situation. But the wife has said that Fossler, the man who was killed, had a no contact order against the daughter because he had already, that previous summer, he stalked, he raped her. And
he raped her?
Yeah, that previous summer. So that's why I said it was
jail for that.
He was. It was 43 counts. He had 43 counts. It was rape. It was sexual assault. It was stalking. It's 43 counts. Because of Arkansas and bail reform, he got bail. The bail was only $50,000. Okay, and the rape was not. I don't know if he was necessarily charged with rape or if it was sexual assault. I don't know the exact charges. I just know there were 43 of them. He had 43 charges. And so the parents were furious because they did have the no contact order. And the biggest issue was this happened in October. He was arrested in July. They had no idea he was even released. They had no idea he made bail. They had no idea he was released, as in it's customary in criminal cases like this, where there's a victim and an assailant. It's customary to notify them when someone's out. It's even customary when, if someone's been in prison for 20 years. And your victim is still alive and the assailant's getting out, they notify them. They didn't notify these people. So they had no idea that Fossler was out, but they still had the no contact order again for the daughter. He was to have no contact, nothing on the internet, nothing over the phone. And she was furious, basically, that nothing was told to them, no information was given, and she and the husband were unaware that Fossler immediately started contacting this child.
Fucking unbelievable.
So
it really is.
They called 911.
Yeah.
Out of the 43 charges, 6 to 9 of them were felonies. And he legitimately was going to be going to jail for the rest of his life. But the mother commented, some things we will never know, but we know that the police department afforded this predator privacy that they did not even give our family, including posting our home address. I'm deeply offended by the way this was handled by the county sheriff's office. The woman added, at the end of the day, our daughter is a victim, and we have a long road for recovery for everyone, and we're thankful for messages or prayers. Now, Fossler was also arrested by another law enforcement agency in this past July and booked for internet stalking of a child and sexual assault. But again, he was released. So they get the police arrive, they get there, and there's a homicide. And it basically, they see it as one person took the life of another. Either it's justified or it's not justified. That's what the fact finding is about. He has not technically been indicted, but it's still a dicey situation because they had initially charged him with second degree murder. And the reason I listened to it was because attorneys were arguing over what was called jury nullification. Jury nullification is not a recognized defense that can be used in court. Jury nullification basically happens when the 12 jurors come and they say, fuck the law. I don't care. This man was right in his actions. It's basically them ignoring the law and saying what he did was right. And it's tough to dispute it because he called 911. He knew the daughter was missing. He knew who took the daughter. And had he not gotten in his car and given chase, who knows what would have happened? Who knows how far Fossler would have gotten? Who knows what he would have done with the girl? A girl that he already has a history with for kidnapping and raping and internet stalking. Who knows? So, yeah, I mean, sure. I know that they can obviously determine whether now it was determined Fossler did not have a weapon, a gun. Spencer did say he saw something dark in his pocket and he lunged toward him. They can obviously tell that through their ballistics and reenactments to see if he was lunging forward. I don't think there's any chance in hell. So they upped the charge to first-degree murder. It was initially second-degree murder, and then it was up to first-degree murder, which is absolutely tragic. And they don't have money. They don't have money for a high-priced attorney. So as I was telling you, like crowdsourcing and GoFundMe, they do not allow that for legal defense funds. And I know this because of Karen Reed as well. Karen Reed, we had to raise her money through Facebook, through Venmo, through Cash App. That's how they were able to take the money. But everything that I think is getting lost here is the daughter is a profound victim.
Oh, obviously.
The daughter is a profound victim.
So why were they why were the police and the why were they is this because of the laws that they had there? Isn't Arkansas a conservative state?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look at the exact 43 charges, but bail reform has been an issue around the nation because the poor, the indigent can't afford it. They can't come close to some of it. So they've made a strategic effort to drop the number afforded for bail. So 43 counts. I mean, I don't, it says that there were 6 or 7 felonies. I would think that $50,000 is quite low. I would think you'd have to go to 6 figures. So, everyone's getting angry because the judge lifted the gag order and the attorneys are speaking out saying that Spencer's a hero. He was a war hero and he should not be indicted. He should not go to trial. They should drop all charges. They're basically saying that Spencer's attorneys are arguing for jury nullification. And as I said, jury nullification is not a legal defense. As I said, it's basically 12 jurors saying, fuck it, we're not following the law. We like this guy. We agree with him. I don't care if it was against the law. He's innocent. And it's happened many, many times. Now, you can't come out and say that your defense is jury nullification. I think they're going to say their defense is self-defense. However, I don't know what the ballistics are going to show, but obviously he ran the guy off the road. He's telling him to get out. He's giving him lawful commands. He's got a weapon on him. The man has his child. You don't know that he may have a knife. You don't know if he has a gun. He's obviously dangerous. He obviously isn't afraid to go to jail.
Right.
He's not afraid of the police. So I would have a gun on him too. And the second he lunged towards me, I'd shoot him. I'd empty my clip at him too. So that's the debate that's going on. Is Aaron Spencer a hero? Is Aaron Spencer a murderer? And everyone poses the question back to, what would you have done? And
well, I think he's a hero. Now, are they trying to convict him?
Yeah, he's charged with first-degree murder.
Because
not only that, they
did a vigilante thing.
They upped the charges. It was second-degree murder. They upped it to first degree.
Well, what about self-defense because they kidnapped his daughter?
They're trying to prove that it's a justifiable homicide. I don't think all the ballistics or the reenactments have come back yet to say that it was justifiable, because the only testimonies that they have to base it on are Aaron Spencer and his daughter, who was in the car. The daughter could say, yeah, I saw the guy Fossler. He came at my dad.
Yeah.
That's all she has to do is say it. And I think, it's done. But the problem is ballistics can tell if the man is moving forward towards you as you shoot him, or if he's backing away, or if he has his hands up. So that's going to be the question. It's going to come down to really the experts, because the prosecution will have experts. And I hope to God they find out that, it shows that he was coming forward. He was coming to attack Aaron Spencer. I hope it shows that, because if that happens, case goes away. They drop the charges. If in any way it shows that Fossler had his arms up, or Fossler was kneeling, or Fossler was surrendering, then they can, at worst, there's no way I believe it's first degree murder.
Right.
I don't think it was premeditated at all.
Right.
First murder's premeditated, planned out. You have a way of doing something. This happened spur of the moment. At worst, if you want to charge him, I think you could charge him and make a case for maybe voluntary manslaughter. At best, I don't think murder is part of it. And then the attention that this is going to draw, the people are going to be very, very angry now that everything has been unsealed, and you see that this man was arrested in July for 43 crimes he was charged with, many related to this young girl, whether it was rape or not, sexual assault, internet stalking, kidnapping, whatever. It was related to her. And the sheriff's office did not do their due diligence by even notifying them, hey, Fossler's out on bail. Just so you know, just so you're aware, he made his bail. They didn't even do that. So, in my opinion, it falls all on the Arkansas, that sheriff's department. And Fossler also did the right thing after he murdered him.
Right, call the police.
He called 911. I shouldn't say murder. After he shot him. He called 911. So yeah, Lonoke County in Arkansas, it was second degree. It got up. See, this is what's crazy. So prosecuting attorney Chuck Graham is bringing the charge up with an enhancement, seeking a higher sentence for the use of a firearm against the 36-year-old Spencer, who pled not guilty. And and they have the 911 call. He's like, hey, my daughter, I can't find her. She's not in her room. The dogs are barking. We don't know what's going on. So, there was a bolo out, missing juvenile. They knew that there was a history with this man. Luckily, the girl was not injured. And luckily, Spencer, again, a war veteran, military trained. That's why they're trying to use that against him, saying that he was trained and the other guy was just a sex offender or whatnot. But he was smart enough. He got in his car, he tracked the guy down, and he found him fast. And thankfully he did, because they said it was just down the road that he found him. So the family had a no contact order in place because this is what it says. He stalked and raped the 14-year-old over the summer of 2024. They took a report of an inappropriate relationship, sexual misconduct. We realized it was Cabot, which is Cabot County jurisdiction. We forwarded it to Cabot detectives. Cabot worked the case. Sheriff Staley told the news. He subsequently was arrested back in July. He was placed in jail. The initial charges were rape and internet stalking, and then the 43 other charges were related to child pornography. And USA Today reported that the child's mother had thought this time Fossler might be trying to kill her daughter because, Dave, he was facing 6 to 9 felonies, and the daughter was the only witness. So the 6 to 9 felonies obviously had to do with the rape and in the stalking. And you're a criminal. You know that this is going to trial. Who's the only witness? Your victim. You just miraculously got released on bond. You're going to tie up loose ends. If this girl gets murdered, if he's able to pull this off, there's no one to testify against him. The charges are dropped. At least the most severe ones, which are, the rape and the stalking. And even the Sheriff Staley, expressed sympathy for Spencer. He said, quote, Aaron Spencer was acting as a father. There's no way that we're going to put the criminals ahead of your kids. Your kids, my kids, they're all my children. And then, of course, they upped the charge of first-degree murder, which sparked outrage on social media. And the sheriff said, ultimately the charges are determined by the prosecutor. He said, my investigators have family, they have children, I'm a daddy. In a situation similar to this, I can't tell you I wouldn't act the same way, but now we are the fact finders. We don't file the charges. We supply the information so the prosecutor can make a determination whether it was justified or not. So his Spencer's attorneys have kind of gone on a media tour trying to, make a case for him, raise awareness of the situation, and, hopefully Turtle Boy gets involved. And they said, we're not just disappointed, we're outraged by his decision. Aaron, Spencer, decorated war hero, protected his country, a loving father whose heroic actions protected his family. He is not a criminal. He did what any father would do and any trained combat veteran would do to protect his family from a predator. This predator repeatedly violated his child. Repeatedly. It's not once, not twice. Repeatedly violated his child. And undeterred by criminal charges and release on a low bond that pales in comparison to what was required of Aaron. Kidnapped her in the dark of night, just like our music says, and to continue his assaults on her. The systematic failures for decades that permitted this man to continue his abuses of women and children for years culminated in facing a father who finally said, fuck you, and stopped him. No matter what the prosecuting attorney may do to Aaron, he was able to save his child and prevent this man's continued acts of sexual violence against the most vulnerable among us.
I think the biggest thing here is the law probably has a thing against vigilantism, and they don't want them taking the law into their own hands.
I would agree with you, but I don't believe this is vigilantism, in my opinion, is if you see a crime in place for people that you don't know and you step in to save their lives. I think that
is what he's doing there. He's stepping in to save their life, someone's life.
Right. But vigilantism, I believe, is stepping in to save lives of people you don't know. You see a crime being committed on people you don't know, but you know it's a crime, and you get involved to try to help them. I
would have done the same thing.
Exactly. This is your blood. This is your family. That's why I don't consider it vigilantism.
A great case is, and I got to run, a great movie about this is...
Are you going to say A Time to Kill?
A Time to Kill.
I knew you were going to say that.
Great movie.
Yes, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
It's the same kind of case, dude. And
yeah, it was in Mississippi. Yep.
And
it was Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep. And
one of my favorites.
Great
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey was Lord. That was really first on the scene.
He was so awesome in that movie.
Great movie.
I knew you were going to bring that up. It was
so interesting because he was Mississippi. His wife and them were like, well, not him, but his wife was like old Mississippi.
His wife was Ashley Judd.
Yes, but they were like old white Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
there were still the racial tensions back.
There was still the racial tension. It was, but it's fundamentally it's the same issue.
It is. To an extent, yes.
Justice wasn't being served. He served the justice. Bottom line. But
yes.
I gotta run. I want you to close it out. Can you close it out? Because I gotta go pick up my son.
Yeah, I'll end it.
You're able to hit end stream on here when you're done, whatever.
Yeah, I'll just read one more thing and then I'll.
Yeah, no. I want you to continue because it's really good. So, all right. Let me
go ahead.
Get out of there, and then you can finish.
Leave it to the expert.
Leave it to the guru. The guru.
All right. You're stuck with me. Deal with it. Talking about the Aaron Spencer case. Shout out to the lawyer you know. The lawyer you know, Peter. I've been watching a lot of his streams, and he covered this case. And that's what brought me onto it. The lawyer you know has a podcast on YouTube. His shows are amazing, and I think he does an incredible job, and he does an excellent job of not being biased. He tries to keep objective and tries to keep some perspective, and he talked about this case. And, you know, I'm obviously a huge Turtle Boy fan, as you can see from my shirt. It's got Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, Karen Reed's attorneys. Karen Reed is going up for civil trial against the O'Keefes, and I hope she buries them because the O'Keefes are not seeking justice. The O'Keefes are blindly believing Jen McCabe and the Albert family about what happened to John O'Keefe and completely ignoring the evidence because they're ignorant, stupid, rotten fucking people. And that's the truth. John O'Keefe, no better man. No better man. Takes in the kids of his brother, raises them, a cop, a loving man, had a loving relationship with Karen Reed. Sure, there were ups and downs, but the persecution out of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, Meatball Morrissey hiring Hank Brennan, Spanky, as Turtle Boy calls him. Turtle Boy was right about everything. He was right, and you were wrong. Not only wrong, you were embarrassingly wrong. And so that's exactly what's going to happen in this case. If they choose to prosecute Aaron Spencer, Arkansas, you're going to be in for it. Because this man was already arrested for attacking this girl. This predator repeatedly violated Aaron Spencer's child, didn't care about criminal charges, and the low bond that he was released on pales in comparison to what was required. It's disgusting. Then he comes and kidnaps her in the dark of the night to continue his assaults on her. The systematic failures for decades that permitted this man to continue his abuses of women and children for years culminated in facing a father who finally said, "Fuck you, I've had enough," and stopped him. And I pray to God that this girl does not lose her father because of this, because she shouldn't. The father is a hero and saved her life. And the prosecutor, hey, prosecutor, dumb shit. You want to send this guy to prison. Even targeting his use of a legally owned firearm. And in spite of his past experiences in combat in this country, it is not the prosecutor who ultimately decides justice. It's the citizens. We believe the citizens of this country and of this state will not allow this injustice, that this community will not allow a father protecting his child from a serial predator to be treated as a criminal. I firmly agree with that, but I also firmly agree, hey, dumb fucks in the prosecutor's office. Just because you can bring charges doesn't mean you're right and you should. Clearly, you have some Napoleon complex. If you think this is the right thing to do, if you think this is justice, sending Aaron Spencer to prison, if you think that's justice, we might as well take you over to Singapore and have you caned. How about that? That's justice. In my opinion, if you think Aaron Spencer should go to trial for first-degree murder, then you, sir, should be sent to Singapore and caned and stay in their prisons. Because any man, a true man, if their daughter was kidnapped in the middle of the night by a known sexual predator, a sexual predator who is already facing charges for harming this daughter previously, of course, you're going to get in your car and you're going to take off and you're going to try to save her. What, are you going to sit and let her get raped? Is that what you want us to do, Mr. Prosecutor? Yeah, Mr. Prosecutor. I'm going to call 911 and I'm just going to sit in my home and I'm going to let the police come, take a report. They'll question me because they'll think I did something. Meanwhile, hours upon hours will pass on and this sexual, disgusting devil of a fucking deviant will have his way with this man's daughter. That's what we should do. That's what the law says we should do. Okay, great. How about blow it out your ass? How about thank you, fuck you, bye? Because nobody's letting that happen. No father is going to sit by when they have the opportunity to get involved and prevent something like this, something horrific, something deplorable, something disgusting, something devastating, something that will change the course of history in my daughter's life from happening. If we can prevent that, we're going to do it. And I'm not a father. I don't have kids. I'll probably never have kids. I'll probably never be a father. I'm a shitbag. I realize this. But even the friends that I have, the friends that I don't have, for any of them, they would have gotten in their car. They would have gone after this man. They would have tracked him down. Me personally, I would have beaten the fuck out of him. Shooting him wouldn't be enough. I would have beaten him. I would have beaten him and I would have sent a message to all the child predators and rapists out there. I would have beaten him beyond recognition to send a message saying, rapists, deviants, child molesters, you want to mess with our children? And then I would have shown a close-up of this man's face. This is what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to get beaten. You're going to get beaten and beaten and beaten until my fists are bloody and I can't lift my arms anymore. because that may deter at least one person from committing such a heinous, deplorable, disgusting act. That's what I would do. I know he shot him. He shot him to save the life of his daughter. And I'm sure that he was lunging forward because this man was a narcissistic child predator. But again, this is Steve Cully, a bag of shit who isn't a father. But if it were me, I would have beaten him till he was unrecognizable, till my hands were bloody, till I couldn't lift my arms anymore. And I would have showed his face live on StreamYard and said to any child rapists, any child deviants, anyone who wants to have a sexual assault with a child, this is what you're going to look like afterwards. And like I said, if it deters one person from committing that act, then it's worth it. Aaron Spencer is a hero. He should not be charged with anything. He should be given a parade around Arkansas for, number one, taking Fossler off the streets for good. He's not worth the oxygen that he was getting being alive. He brought nothing good to society. He wasn't a productive individual. He didn't lead a productive life. All he did was take, harm, hurt, prey on the vulnerable. That's what Fossler did. Aaron Spencer served our country, fought for our country, bled for our country proudly, and he'd do it again. And he wasn't going to sit by idly while someone defiled his daughter. So Arkansas, the land of the dipshits, the dumb fucks. Yeah, this is good. Let's waste taxpayers' money and bring charges against Spencer. Let's bring him to trial. Let's waste all the time and money because we have so much of it in Arkansas. Let's do that. Yeah, let's waste our taxpayers' money on that. Meanwhile, people are living on the streets. But no, let's take Spencer to trial. Yeah, geniuses. Couldn't run a lemonade stand in fucking Arkansas. So let's do that. Let's bring Spencer to trial. Let's bring him to justice. You think that's justice? Putting away a father, saving his daughter? You think that's justice? Putting away a father whose daughter was about to be raped? That's justice? Yeah. Okay. Go live in Singapore. Go live in El Salvador. Go see what real justice is. Cut your fucking dick off for that. So that's the case of Aaron Spencer. He's a hero. He's not a murderer. And if you disagree with me, you can go fuck yourself. I don't really care anymore. There's been Bloodlines and Betrayal. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges. Shove them right up Fossler's dead ass. And see how he likes to be sodomized.